Wow, this is not the Uniben we met. So I remember paying 14,500 for school fees. Now they are paying 45,000 naira.
I feel like the addition of 20,000 naira is just too much. Or if anything, do not threaten that people will lose their admission if they don't pay the 20,000 naira. Just, give them extra time, like 2 weeks to pay up, and, we'll solve this thing easily. But I thank God I'm done with the whole Uniben stress, I beg. It's not easy.
Yeah, thank God though. But it's really funny how you studied electrical engineering and now you're here drawing and painting.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how, you enter school and you plan to study so and so. I mean, it's a 5 years course, you don't just choose it. I personally have a passion for electrical engineering, and I still apply those knowledge and I still apply it. But the world we are living actually demands more from you than just a university degree in your hands. I feel like you actually need to be able to do things that will at least put money in your pocket before you get a good job or something. Especially for some of us that really are not don't really like the whole idea of office work. So yeah, I feel like it's just very necessary. I mean, if the school was so important, why do they have so much strikes and so much shutting down of the school? If they really hold the whole thing, the whole education of it in high esteem, you understand? So I feel like they are not even making it interesting for us, and they are not making it easy, and they are not making, I mean, just imagine now asking students to pack out their things after 4 weeks of resumption. People that are coming from Abuja, from all over the country, telling them to vacate the hostel. How? These are thousands of students. Where are they going to go to? So the fact that the system does not really care, the fact that they don't really care about the welfare of the students really makes the whole thing like, it's demotivating in many ways. It's very demotivating. So I really don't know, Sha. I'm just glad that I'm done with the system. And I mean, it took a while. A 5 years course turned to almost 7 years. But I feel like one thing I'm happy with is, till now, I don't feel like I wasted any of that time. You get? Because if maybe I was chasing that first class degree now, for example, and at the end of the day, I got a 2-1 out of that 7 years gap, it will look like, is it really worth it? Like, you get? So, but thank God, at least there is a business, the money is coming in little by little, things are moving. I can look back at the whole thing as a learning process. So I think that's one thing I just advise for people is, you see the way the system is taking the school thing with this their seriousness. So you too don't just carry it on your head, like, you get? So if you have opportunity to learn something, to start selling something, to start a business, I feel like just go for it. And you will thank yourself, your future self will thank you for making those decisions. Because I think one thing people will always say is, wait till you are done with NYSC. They will always say when you have time. But I think that concept of when you have time, it has been greatly misunderstood. Because I feel like time is something you create. You make time for what you want to do. So I don't think that there will ever be a time where you just be free. You say, okay, now I want to learn work. Things will come up. Pressure will now start mounting on you. Maybe by then your parents have stopped sending you money. You will now be looking for quick, urgent 2K. You will now be looking for urgent 2K. And maybe you get a 12K teaching job.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, considering the whole stress and everything, and beyond the fact that the system is not favorable, there's also stress, a stress factor, and having other activity to do with the academics, and then the system is really, really very hard. So if a person wants to venture into business, want to start up a business, or want to start doing something like you did, while you were in school. And there's also tendency for those things affecting the person's academics.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I want to ask now, how were you able to manage? Man, I know it was not just that, you're also an executive in RCF Uniben. Yeah. So handling everything, handling drawing and painting, handling technical director, then handling engineering, Ella, Emma, and the whole stress of everything. So how were you able to manage and still came out and graduated successfully?
Okay. Many times people feel like you can get something for nothing. Feel like you can have everything you want and don't have to pay any price. But what I feel is that you will lose something. It will cost you something because asking how we're able to manage this and manage this and manage this, I feel like I didn't know how to manage it. I had to ask people to. I had to try something I've not tried before. I had to scatter my routine. If maybe my routine involved watching 2 hours of movies, chatting 2 hours, I had to really disassemble everything and try. It's a total change of lifestyle when you really want to do all these things together. Because I feel like when you're not able to manage your stressful period, even as a student, you will still find out that later in life you still have issues managing all this stressful period because you are not going to be idle in your life now. You are going to be busy, but you are going to try to manage it. So whatever lessons has to be learned now, having to do with how to manage all this stressful period, I feel like now is still the best time to learn it. So if it involves you checking your time management skills and all, just try it. Cut down your WhatsApp chatting time, cut down your movies watching. I mean, I like movies, I like Marvel movies and all, but these days I cannot even find myself sitting down 2 hours to watch a movie. I'll feel like I've done something very bad. So I may just watch the first 30 minutes and I'll probably watch it while I'm eating, so it's like multitasking, and then turn it off and go and do some things, work, sleep, come back, watch another. I can spend 2 days watching one movie, I don't really care, as far as a good movie. So, but you will no longer have that liberty to say, oh, today is Saturday, I'm free, I'm just going to lie down, I'm just going to be watching movies all day. That liberty will no longer be there. So I feel like one thing that this whole experience have taught me is responsibility. Like, you just have to be responsible now. Client has their deadline. There are some excuses that they don't want to hear, so you just stop saying it. Like, I remember when I started, I used to give so many excuses. Oh, I felt sick. Oh, I didn't sleep well last night. I had tests. Oh, I have class. You just have to deliver. Yeah. So I think once you get used to that rhythm of having to, first of all, knowing that there's no excuse. If you have to do something, you have to do it. Sure. So there's nothing that teaches you discipline and keeping to time more than having a deadline to meet. And in this line of drawing and painting, there's always a deadline, always a birthday, always something. And since I started, I've done over 500 and something portraits, both drawing and paintings. So in essence, what I'm saying is that it will cost something. Like, I'm not really going to lie and say I was able to manage it properly. There were in many areas I didn't do well. In many areas, even as a technical director, I can remember occasions where the pastor would have to call me to the office and your attendance is somehow, and me trying to explain to them that there's so much I'm doing, but people, not everybody will understand. It's because everybody have their responsibilities and all. So I feel like it will cut from your time, from everything. It will affect your time. You miss classes, which is not good. You may not, I remember missing a test for, I think we were doing freshers welcome at education, and I don't know how I forgot that there was test that Saturday, and I missed that test. And that test, if anybody that missed that test will not write that exam, it was Bello. Have you heard of engineer Bello in electrical?
I think I
One of our was it was. So after that test, I just knew I faced that course. And I failed that course, and I wrote that course like 3 times before I passed it. But the third time I passed it, Bello was no longer taking the course. I think that's why I was able to pass it.
Wow.
So last it cost an extra year. I had to come back. COVID took its own 1 year. I had to come back to write some of those courses. But now I'm done. So no regrets, because I don't see all these things as issues. I see them as learning process. And you cannot now come and tell me so and so. I've been there. I've learned it. So I feel like whatever choices you make generally, just make them and see it through to the end. Whatever price you have to pay, that's the beauty of believing in God anyway. You know that all things work together for your good. So that I feel like that's like the summary of the matter. That whether or not things go well or things do not go well, just pray about every decision you want to make and make them. So if you have a decision to make, say, should I start the business now or wait till after NYSC? You know that as a believer, if you wait till after NYSC, it will still go well. If you start now, it will still go well. So whatever decision you make, just put God in the middle and let Him order your steps. But one thing is, if you do the right thing, you will not regret it. Cost you extra year, or graduate to first class, or graduate to 2-1, whatever the case is, life will go well, sha. So I think that's just the main thing. But whatever the case is, if anybody is trying to start a business in school, my advice, not everybody likes business, but my advice is that you should start it. This is why. I don't think you ever get that environment of people.
No.
Because think about it now. Let's say you're in hostel. In just your role, you have hundreds of people. You can just knock from door to door and advertise your business. That's like easy publicity, easy, people, easy customer base. Or in your fellowship, they can just announce your business to your fellowship members. 1,000 people have already. You must get some clients from there. So I feel like it's a very easy foundation for any startup. I feel like it's quite easy. Yeah, it will affect some of the things you are doing, but you don't always have to wait.
Wow, that's everything. That's really yeah. You really said a lot about yourself and everything. There are a lot of persons I never knew you had an extra year and all that. So, in summary, from what I can get from everything you said now, you've spoken about planning. You said how important it is to plan. So having activities all around, and the 3 major things that were around you are not. Your business is not the one that does not take time. It's not just goods. It has to do with services.
Exactly.
Yeah, it took time, and your position was technical. Technical also. Yeah. It's not like other departments in the fellowship. Then also engineering. So it's not like, let me not call some faculties or some department. Engineering is also very bulky and tasky, practicals and everything. So you talked about planning, how it's necessary to always plan. If you can plan around, everything is going to go well. Then also, there was something you said concerning us being believers. And as Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him and He will direct your paths. So whichever way a person has chosen to follow, as far as a believer, all you need to do is acknowledge God and He will direct you in all your paths. So that's really what we got from. Then also, whatever sacrifice you have to pay, you just have to follow, knowing that you are doing the right thing. Knowing that if you lose some things doing the wrong things, an issue. But if you lose something doing the right thing, following God's plan for your life, that's what most important. Following God's plan for your life, yeah, to pay off very well at the end. So you just need some sort of endurance and to walk through. Oh, thank you. That's very. So it's really very amazing that you have to share your own story for other persons to learn.